kids to bed, dad's home. We are the DWO podcast, representing the dad world order. I am the handsome head of household, Mr. Magnificent Mike Martin. And with me, as always, the rest of this patriarch pack. We got the big bad bearded daddy. He is Big Rig Eric Maffey.
Honk, if you hear me, baby, let's go.
Oh, yeah. And he is the perpetual mid-carder and the two-time world record holder. He is the wrestling t-shirt guy, Cephas.
Cowabunga, boy. I forgot to pull my mic up. Cowabunga.
I was going to say you might need a microphone.
It's day 872, and we got this beautiful Rascal shirt.
Very nice. I tried to get one too, but
excellent. Is that was that purchased on Friday at Revolver?
That was. I bought it from Zachary Wentz himself.
There you go.
Very nice.
Yeah. I love all forms of the Rascals, So
that's the best part about the Rascals, man.
Yeah, it's like the modern day Freebirds.
Yeah, there's no bad part of them.
Yeah.
Well, as Bishop Magnificent said, we are the DWO podcast. Tonight we have with us a very special guest, the one and only Professor Bear from the Wrestling Society Network. Sir, how the heck are you?
Man, I'm lovely, just loving it. And let me start off by saying, y'all have helped me get one of my goals accomplished. It's to be on y'all's show. No crap. I tell you no lie. And even tell you how I found your show. So one of my partners that works with me in the Wrestling Society Network, Clayton, he was bigging y'all up, just talking about y'all. And I'm like, man, I ain't seen
shit. That's where I know you from. Okay, sorry, continue. I've been like, I know this guy and I don't remember where he's from. Okay, go.
Yeah. So he kept talking about y'all, and I'm like, man, they can't be that good. He said, promise me that you're gonna watch it. I said, all right, I'm gonna do it. And of course, I didn't have plans to, but I was like, nah, I hadn't lied to Clayton. I'm gonna go ahead. Man, when I saw y'all show, I just immediately busted out laughing, enjoyed every minute of it. And I didn't even give Clay, and I knew he had to be at work at 6 a.m. I texted him, dude, you were right, man. That was great, man. Come on, hey, you think they were going our 2K promotion, man? You got to find out. Come on.
Oh yeah, no, because the reason I'm remembering this, so really early on when we were doing this, like back before Cephas was a part of this, we were in the 2K promotion.
Yes.
And I made all three of us. It was me, Mike, and our buddy Brando. Brando, unfortunately, is no longer with us, so we might need to get some
He's not dead.
roster.
He's just not doing the show anymore.
Not dead.
I'm not saying it like he's dead. He's no longer with the podcast, motherfucker.
Just clarifying.
We'll definitely get that update. Definitely.
Yeah, you got to get that world record holder on.
But no, it was awesome for us to see like ourselves brought to life in this, kind of like fantasy faction thing, man. That was really cool for us. And like Eric said, especially we were just starting out. So to see ourselves kind of out there in something like that on a different platform was definitely kind of gratifying. So we appreciate that. We appreciate you reaching out to us for sure.
Oh man. I know when we started talking about it, the president, I'm the president, but the owner, Brady Owens, we were having discussions like, hey, let's look and see people that would do great on. And I'm like, well, damn, I'm definitely reaching out to the DWO. I said, they're probably going to turn us down, but F it, I'm going to reach out. And lo and behold, we are teammates.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. For those that don't know, we are featured on the Wrestling Society Network Roku app, which you can download for free. It's all for free, and you can watch us on there, man. Along with tons of other content. What else you got on it? I know you guys got. I'm pretty sure in their old like CZW stuff on there.
Oh yeah, we have. Well, first off, we're on Roku. We're on Amazon. we're on Fire Stick, we're on Apple Plus. So plus we're trying to work on getting on some couple other apps. But what we have on the network, we have tons of different platforms and different things. We have, like you said, Coastal Championship Wrestling. We have just signed them this week is Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling. We have another one we signed this week, City Championship Wrestling, which is based out of Michigan.
Okay.
And we have the Midwest All Stars Wrestling. And we're still working on a few more, hopefully, that will come aboard.
Heck yeah. So it's all, I mean, is it almost like an IWTV in a way?
It's a little bit, but and no disrespect to them, but we have more different things to offer. We have wrestling movies, a ton of WWE movies that, to be truthful, I didn't even know existed. We have our 2K promotions. There we have a wrestling figure promotion, which is crazy awesome. I've never thought I could get into watching people use figures to wrestle. It blew my mind. Had planned on watching it for about 10 minutes, ended up watching it 2 hours. It draws you in because not only the storyline, they break out blood, the entrance is crazy when I tell you.
So the commentating better be pretty good, though.
Oh, man, it is stupid, too. They had a Royal Rumble, and one of the commentators got called up and did the whole jump in, get eliminated, went back to the table. It was hilarious. It's just crazy.
That's crazy. It's crazy how sometimes stuff like that will just hook you, man. That's like, I remember as a kid making fun of BattleBots for forever, and then one time I sat down and watched it, and I was like, BattleBots is awesome. I didn't think I'd like this at all, but I love it now.
Exactly.
That was awesome. Was that on Spike TV?
Yeah, originally I think it was.
We have wrestling documentaries. We have wrestling bios. I always keep thinking when I'm telling everything, I forget one, and it's right in my face. But for whatever reason, I forget it. We have we have our wrestling comedians.
Really?
Yeah.
I have not looked that far into it. I'm gonna be honest. I get on there and I search for us.
and we're finally getting where we're getting to release stuff every week. I always say we only have about 30% of what we have on the network, because of course we have more y'all that we're going to be bringing. We hadn't even really, I think I got one of my videos on there, and I know I have at least 10 to 20 different things. So we have so much, and that's a great problem to have, to slowly build people into certain things and getting them to hopefully understand wrestling is so verse, it's not the same. So, that's one of the things I like about us. We do a lot of different things, and whether you're a family and you don't want your kids seeing certain wrestling, we have family-based wrestling.
So how many of you guys are a part of the company itself of, Wrestling Society Network? How many of you guys are working on that? Or is this just a passion project between a few guys, or what?
Well, it's officially 7 of us. And everybody kind of break off into different things. Like I've been tasked with scouting and doing this tour I'm on, and downloading. The president, he does a lot of the editing part. I do it too. We have another member who does some editing. So we're all kind of over the place.
Heck yeah.
So,
That's a lot like us. That's a lot like us too. I mean, we all kind of have our individual like duties that we do daily.
Yeah, Mike is pretty much 92% of our graphics department, and by 92%, I mean 8% of the time Eric and I fuck it up and Mike fixes it.
Yeah, pretty much.
But you know,
No,
we
you guys
all.
are. A lot of
It's
times
like
you guys
Mike can't get to it, and we like half-ass one, and he's like, "I'm home now. I'll do it."
But you know, I will say we do provide you with a lot of
Yes.
material, because
definitely.
today when we were talking about what we were going to do for background for you, I just listed off all the famous bears I could think of, and it was just like, holy shit, I knew like 15 famous bears. Like, there's a lot of them, man.
It was quick too. I was typing my own list, and it came through. You beat me to the punch.
I mean, there's a lot, dude. There really is.
I tell you the funny thing. I tell you how I got my name. So when Brady is CEO, he came up with the whole concept. He started in 2018 and quickly realized, hey, I cannot do this by myself. Let me chill off a little bit. So then he decided 2021, he's like, okay, I'm ready to do this, but let me find some co-hosts. I saw it on Facebook, and I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. And I'm like, nah, I ain't never did that. I'm not gonna do it. So I went and told my fiance at the time, excuse me, my girlfriend at the time, currently my wife. I told her what I saw, and she was like, well, why don't you send something in? I'm like, baby, nobody ain't gonna want to hear me talk about wrestling. She's like, oh, please, you'll debate with anybody. God can come down right now and you'll be like, excuse me, Lord, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm not trying to make you mad, but you're wrong, and this is why you're wrong.
You sound like my oldest.
So I was like, okay, she might have a small point, just a small point. So I went ahead, did my interview, sent it in, and with less than an hour, he reached out to me. We had a conversation and became co-host. It's like, wow. So we started as a podcast, doing that thing, and I don't know about y'all, but to this day, I still cannot fully watch my first one. It was garbage.
Oh yeah.
Emphasis on bitch.
Dude, our first one I did on my iPad. Mike did it on a laptop that was window, not even Windows, just singular window. So, yeah, we didn't have a clue.
I've been going back through to count all the episodes up and like get a full run, because we're going to try to take it to the next logical step business wise. And we're trying to get all our chickens in a row first, right? So I'm looking at all the stuff, and I've gotten through all the stuff before me and then all the stuff with us. And I look back at our old episodes versus stuff we do now, and I'm like, good Lord, like what? We thought we were really, really good there to start. We were okay, but
just look at the thumbnails. Man, like the thumbnail progression.
Yeah.
We started doing a whole lot. Yeah, so I don't know how for the longest time, it was just three of us, like standing folded arms, and then whoever we were interviewing on the other side. That was just it for like a while. And then I don't know what the hell happened.
We did a special like 4th of July episode, and you changed it up a little bit, and we got a ton more views on it. And it was like, okay, well, let's start making different ones every time now.
And it just got crazy.
Now
it became fun because it's like, all right, let's get some background and make a fun one.
2 times a week now. We're like, okay, what are we doing? I got to get to work. I got to put together a basis for the Fortnite one since Mike's not a Fortnite guy, and then let him fix it to make it look better.
There you go.
Here's my rough draft.
Yeah, here's my rough draft, Mike. It's in the
It's
Canva.
like,
Go ahead.
it's like an artist, or like I don't know, an inventor sketches out something. He handed it over to to an engineer or and he fine line draws it. That's all.
It
That's all is,
literally
man.
felt like what it was
Just
with
put some
the
seasoning
Phyla.
on it, homie, man. I got you.
It literally felt like I was like, here's what my idea is. And you're like, oh, I got you. You're like, here you go. That's what you want.
Minor edits.
Especially when you fix the eyeballs. I know that's different, but still.
Mr. Poopy Butthole is eyeballs and a hat.
Yeah.
For people who have no idea what we're talking about, they just wonder why you just said Mr. Poopy Butthole. And I would normally explain it, but I'm leaving it.
Yeah. Go look it up.
Go look it up.
You don't know? Watch the video.
Google Mr. Poopy Butthole and then
So,
watch the show.
Bear, I gotta say, kind of how you were saying, Wrestling Society Network is kind of a variety of things and stuff like that. We've always said that's what makes a good wrestling show. Like when you go to a show, you don't want to watch 6 technical wrestling matches in a row. You don't want to watch 6 hardcore matches in a row. It's a variety show. You want a hardcore match, a technical match, maybe a comedy match, maybe a lucha style match. So having your app like that really fits well with wrestling because that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a little bit of everything for everyone.
Yeah, and for me, I look at it even with the way we have it set up now. A lot of it, I'm like, wow. Honestly, I probably wouldn't have looked at that, but then I actually gave it a chance. It's like, man, that was better than I thought. And it's like, man, so I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee, so the Southern style of wrestling is my stuff. I love the technical. They break down. It's like, yes. But sometimes I want to see those, as Jim Cornette would say, those flip-de-doos and 17,000 super kicks. I actually get off of that. So that's why I enjoy our app and just think it offers more for wrestling fans. And again, it's not any shot at any other ones. Not saying that we're better. I just think we have more variety and we're trying to accomplish a little of everything.
I think it's neat, man. You guys are trying to, you're putting your name to work. You're trying to create a society, you know what I mean? Some fans that just want to watch good content and people that are making good content all kind of working together. It kind of reminds me of like a YouTube channel, if you will, you know what I mean? But it's a wrestling version of it.
Yeah, and that was the big thing, I think, because this was Brady's idea. He came to us with it, and he had started it, and we didn't know about it. And then he was telling us, it's like, damn, that's a good idea. And I'm like, thought to myself, man, why hadn't nobody else did this? And then, of course, I had to think back. I'm like, oh, yeah, there are other ones, but and again, not trying to downplay what they offer and how they offer it, but man, some of how to go through their platform is time consuming, confusing. It's like, man, I just want to see this match. Why can't I get here? I got to go here. Then I got to look at this. Then this. Then when I finally get there, oh, you got to pay $5 to. Man, you should have told me that up front.
Yeah, user interfaces and the easeability of a user interface can make or break an app.
Oh
yeah, like Prime Video. Fix your UI.
It's the worst.
It's awful.
It's been the same for years too, dude. Like
terrible.
All that money.
Somebody
I know people that could fix it.
Well, the funny thing is they would have, they have like ads now. So one of the ads that kept popping up, I think I was watching Jack Ryan or something like that, was like, I'm an Amazon employee. I helped design the UI for the Amazon app, and I'm like, why are you bragging about that?
You should be fired.
Is it like
That's
Betty
not
White?
that's not a good thing.
Fix it, Amazon. It's been
It's an
terrible.
80-year-old man.
Well,
It's so bad.
and what I hate is they will get somebody who doesn't know the product worth crap, and then they, oh man, this is the way you need to do it. This is that makes no sense. But
I mean, something done like that, and if you're not a fan of the product, and don't have that passion behind it and understand the history and and what it's what the professional wrestling universe is all about. I mean, that's if you don't have that back in you, you are lacking something.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's another reason why I'm big on history of wrestling, just because how much knowledge I have and what I get out of it. I think to myself, well, hell, I was around for the territory days. I actually remember it, and I loved it. So I see today is more of a new territory that they could take advantage of. Man, you producing wrestling in Washington State. Well, hell, I'm in Tennessee. Maybe it interests me. So let me go look. Well, Jesus, I got to go search Google, and they don't know, and different things. Well, luckily enough, now I got it on that, and you can see something different wrestlers, and I love seeing the younger wrestlers because it's like maybe one day, 5 years from now, they could be a world champion, and I can say, I seen when they started and how they progressed and all that.
That's how we feel about our boy Chambers. I'm telling you that Damian Chambers is going to be a world champion wherever he goes. Mark my words.
Yep,
he's the man. And that, like you said, you remember the territory days. What you got a lot of knowledge, obviously. What was the moment that you were like, all right, I love this. I love wrestling. Like, was there a specific match or just a specific wrestler or something, a promo or something where you were just like, I love this?
I can remember watching wrestling with my early thoughts. And the reason why, because my father, he was a wrestling fan. And he would take us to the local wrestling every week, every 2 weeks, however it came, we would go. And man, that's my dad. If dad loves it, I got to love it. So I kept getting interested in it. And then I started understanding concepts and different things. So I always had that love thanks to my dad. And my brothers and sisters, they love wrestling, but not as deep as I do.
Okay.
So was there a first favorite wrestler? Was there a first guy that was like, yeah, that's the fucking man for me?
Well, let me tell you, baby, it can't be too many people that goes around here that going to talk about wrestling without talking about the American dream, baby.
That's the role, baby.
I put my hands up. Y'all feel me? Y'all got to do what the road. I don't care if you're black, white, Chinese, baby. I'm going to put it to Ric Flair, baby.
Oh, I love it.
If you will.
This Sunday at Starcade.
Well, I'll tell you what, you'll like this little bit of trivia. In the documentary about Cody Rhodes, the guy right down here was in it.
Yeah,
the
A&E Dusty Rhodes documentary that they aired the night after, or was it the night before Mania?
Yeah,
one of the
night
two.
After. Yeah,
it was the night after Mania 39. They aired it, so after he lost, essentially. But they it was I was at WrestleMania 38, and I do a pretty good Dusty Rhodes, baby. And this guy walked past wearing a Dusty Rhodes shirt, and he was holding a camera, and I just said, "The American Dream, baby, Dusty Rhodes. You don't know hard times." And he stopped and he was like, "Hey, will you do that on camera?" And the next thing I knew, I was getting interviewed by A&E, and now I'm on that documentary, which is super cool. Side quick story: my son just got into wrestling, and he's a Cody Rhodes fan, and he just fell in love with Cody Rhodes a couple weeks ago. And I put that documentary on the other day, and the look on his face when he realized his dad was in that documentary is everything, man. It was just like, oh, yeah, your dad's pretty damn cool.
It was awesome. If you get, if he ever goes on a show like this and they ask him what his moment is, his moment's going to be that SmackDown with
Yeah,
you.
with Cody Rhodes at SmackDown.
Yeah,
Man, that's crazy.
that's great.
Yeah, but yeah,
I'll tell you what. I don't know if my daughter will remember it, but I can tell you the moment that got her into it, and it was the Women's Royal Rumble, and she was about 4 or 5 years old, and I never really watched wrestling around her. I'd wait till she went to bed, and then so it was like midnight, 1 a.m, something like that. I was watching the Rumble because I had missed it because I was with her or whatever. And she woke up and came out, and the Women's Royal Rumble was on, and she was just enthralled with all the, oh my God, what is all this? And she's been watching it with me ever since. So
that's cool.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
My daughter, I remember I got her a Jeff Hardy doll, and it was by chance a Burr Jeff Hardy doll, and she loved it. She used to talk about Trish Stratus and stuff, and of course she's 24 now, and we were talking, and she had recently moved out, and she was cleaned up, and she came in the room. I was sitting there not really paying any attention. She said, "Dad," well, no, I'm lying. She calls me Burr. She's like, "Burr, look." I turned around. She had the doll right there. I'm like, "Oh my God, you still got that?" She's like, I would kill somebody if they mess with my Jeff Hardy Bear."
Aw.
Touch my Jeff Hardy Bear.
And a quick side story. This is how Professor Bear came up. When Brady, the owner, we were talking, and my daughter came in. We were filming or something, and she called me. I said, "Come on in." She came in and said, "All right, I see you later, Bear," and walked out. And Brady was like, "Hey, you mind if we call you Bear?" I said, let me check." He's like, "What?" I said, "Let me check. If my daughter say no, it's no." So she said it was okay. And I'm like, "Cool." Then he's like, "No, I'm not going to call you Bear. I'm going to call you Professor Bear because you know so much wrestling stuff that we don't even know. You're Professor Bear." And that's how I got today.
There you go. Little fun fact, growing up, I mean, still to this day, my grandmother on my mom's side, her nickname for me was Bear. She's called me that since I was a little kid. So yeah, when I saw Professor Bear, I was like, this guy's awesome.
I normally don't like to admit that we messed up, but we definitely did, because we normally hire a private investigator to kind of look into our guests before they come on our show. And somehow our private investigator did not investigate you this time. He investigated your logo, and we got our pictures back, and we were pretty confused, but we were also pretty amazed. Mike, show him the pictures.
You keep some pretty notorious company. I mean, I want to say a thief, but who you been hanging out with?
He did
Perfectly
steal.
unattended picnic basket right there, and he looks pretty enthused. One of them does, at least.
Well, I tell you, I don't like to put big names out there. He's always just gonna be Yo to me. Me and him, we grew up together. That's it. You won't get me to say a bad word about him or the times he's procured picnic baskets.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Procure. That's a great way to use it.
Speaking of procuring, another gang looks like it was running with likes to procure honey at any cost.
Yeah, I hate to admit it. We had a falling out. I didn't trust his buddies. They were just too.
They look shady.
Man.
The one guy's always just depressed, and the other guy's just head in the clouds.
And he was stealing my look. Only one person can pull off the mean look and cute at the same time, and me and him had I don't trust him. I'm just saying.
Oh, shit.
Well, if there's there was one, I guess, rectifying, a favorite of mine, growing up. I feel like he was, I would say underappreciated by a lot of folks, but hilarious guy. Waka, waka,
Waka, waka, waka.
Oh man, me and him used to hang out all the time, but he always had a one-liner, and I just couldn't take it anymore.
What's going on with his scarf there? Is that nipples on a scarf? What is that?
That's Gucci.
Well, I mean, considering neither one of us wearing any bottoms, can't really
Bears don't need bottoms.
Well, it depends on the bears you hang around with. Now, I'm just saying.
Out there
Okay, now I have to ask this question since you're in the know in bear culture. Do y'all indeed shit in the woods?
I can't give out our secrets, but I would say this: picnic baskets are not the only thing we procure.
Okay.
Poor rabbit.
Oh God.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
it's all fun until the rabbit got the gun.
That's right.
It's duck season.
Oh,
I seen somebody play duck hunt the other day.
Do what?
I never played duck hunt. I mean, I super cheated playing duck hunt as a kid.
Right to the screen.
Yeah, exactly. And I somehow never tried to go all the way to the end to where it wouldn't go anymore. And I watched somebody. I started following a page on Facebook or one of them, and it shows completions of the last levels of games and stuff. It's a great follow. It's 5-10 minute videos and beating country again. I remember that.
Were you a gamer at all, man? Okay, touche. I didn't know if they were CDs or what. You know what I mean?
No problem. But yeah, big gamer. I got you name it. I probably got it.
All right. So so for me, the answer to this is Link's Awakening. What's the game that no matter how many games you got on your backlog, you can still turn on and just play for a while? What's your that's your go-to therapy game, if you will?
Probably either WWF No Mercy or WWF WrestleMania or WCW NWO Revenge.
Those are classics. Nintendo 64, that particular design of a wrestling game is just so perfect.
I love that system. That's probably my favorite system ever.
That was an absolutely goated system, man. You had a buddy with an N64. You had some fun nights, man. Yeah. GoldenEye, wrestling games, DK or Donkey Kong 64, Mario Party, Mario 64, all of it. Super Smash Brothers.
Killer Instinct.
Yeah, one of the things I do now is collect wrestling video games, and I have every one of the 2K wrestling game except 2K20. That's the only one I don't have because it was so janky and stuff.
I was going to say, wasn't that the one that was awful?
Yeah, and
it was insanely bad.
Yeah, and that's the reason why I hadn't bought it, but I'm gonna have to break down one day and buy it so I can have
it's
them
all. $1.50 on eBay, dude. So it's not. It was the worst game, literally, and it's the only time in my life that I have ever gotten a digital refund because I bought it digitally because I bought it on my Switch, right? I was so excited for it to come out on Switch, and it was so broken. So when you pin in this game, there's a little meter that comes up and it goes like this 3 times, and then there's a little spot that you need to stop it in, right? So it would go 1, 2, 3. It was that off. It was not. So you couldn't kick out. So I could theoretically, I could play you in the whole game, kick your ass the whole time. You get one pinning move on me, I can't kick out no matter what I do.
Yeah.
And it was unplayable. So I got a refund, and it was the only time in my life I ever wrote Nintendo an email like, "Look, you need to give me my money. It's unplayable." And they gave it to me. They gave it to me. So I gotta give that.
They couldn't argue. They knew it was trash.
It was the worst of all time. I don't think I've ever seen a more broken game released like that. It was that bad.
Well, I tell you, the second worst game, Rumble Roses. I just got it a couple of months ago, and you're talking about the most sexist, crappy wrestling game of all time.
So it's just jiggle physics and shitty gaming?
That's it.
Yep. Yeah, sounds like a dead or alive beach volleyball. Although at least that was fun.
I was like, oh my God. I was like, why did I waste my money on this? Then I thought, well, it's a part of my collection. Don't mean I have to play this crap, but I got it.
It's part of history.
My growing up game was WCW versus the World. I had it on PlayStation 1.
Yeah, I got that.
Love that game.
That's actually what started me really, really, really wanting wrestling games. Like, just had to have them. Because I forgot that WCW had a wrestling game before it came on Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I just, because I think at that time I was in and out of wrestling because I was in my 20s. So it's like, ooh, women, damn wrestling. I catch up with it eventually. So I missed that one. And I went back, I got the original Nintendo WrestleMania game. I got the first NWA/WCW wrestling game from Nintendo.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite wrestling game was the WrestleMania arcade game.
Oh, yeah.
I just thought that was so fun. It was like the NBA Jam of wrestling games, you know?
The animations and shit like that.
Yeah.
I actually have an arcade, life-size arcade, not the ones, the arcade ones. I have a life-size one.
Get the real deal.
I'll show you.
Well, did you ever play WrestleQuest?
No.
Oh, dude, we just had the president of the company on.
CEO of the company.
Yeah, if you don't have the that episode on the WSN yet, you guys definitely need to source that one because it's one of our best yet.
Okay.
He is the president. In fact, we still have the graphic here. I'll show you what it looks like. It is a story about Muchacho Man, which is the guy on top of Macho Man's head there, and his dream is to be just like Macho Man. So you're playing an RPG. It's a lot like Chrono Trigger. There's no wrestling like in like a 64 game like we're talking. It's a turn-based kind of like Chrono Trigger or Final Fantasy VII or something like that, where you battle by prompt. But it is so captivating. It features 200 wrestlers and about 45 WWE Hall of Famer level legends. You know what I mean? It's full of people.
I saw it, and you know how sometimes you'll see they advertise for games and stuff, and I saw it and I thought, oh crap, it's the Macho Man. And then they showed a bunch of wrestlers I didn't know. So I was like, okay, these are these knockoffs. I'm not going to pay any attention. But now I will probably, after we get off, I'll probably get it.
If you have Netflix,
game.
If you have a subscription to Netflix and you download Netflix on your phone, right? You go into the app on your phone. There's a section that says Netflix Gaming. You can download WrestleQuest for free through Netflix right now.
Oh, cool.
So you can play it on your phone, and it's touch prompt worthy. You know what I mean? You don't need anything too crazy, and it's a fantastic game.
Cool. I'm glad you put me up on that.
Before we transition out of games, though, I want to show you the one redeeming thing from WWE 2K20. I buy the collector's edition to everything, obviously, as my whole office is full of stuff. But when you bought that collector's edition, you could get 3 autographs with it, right? There were 3 potential autographs you could get. One was Rey Mysterio, one was Big Show, which I already owned both of those, and then the third one was the one I got, and it was Edge.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I was super excited. I was like,
Wow.
oh, that's the coolest thing ever. And it was, I was so excited that I didn't get the other 2. I was like, I already have these guys.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
what are the goals, I guess, of Wrestling Society Network? Do you guys have anything that you're trying to do in the near future or far future, or what's going on with it?
Well, we are just trying to help make wrestling, the society of wrestling, be more, word I'm looking for, I guess, more friendly to each other. You know, where you can go, you have places to go. You don't have to worry about people. Oh, wrestling is fake, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. And just be a community. I know after we get more in depth with the app, one of the goals is to build a web page for wrestling. We are just about the fandom of wrestling, I believe. We just want people to enjoy themselves and just do different things and put out, like on our Facebook page, man, we tell people all the time, we don't care what kind of wrestling, promote it. We don't care. We want you to promote it. Maybe somebody who like your style, never seen your brand, bam, they'll see it there.
Well, let me go ahead and promote something right now because we are shills for this company and we are shills for both of the people that they just announced in a match. Pro Wrestling Revolver just announced in Iowa for the first time ever, Danhausen versus Paul Walter Hauser at Cage of Horrors. We're going to be there live in person.
Oh,
I
nice.
bet you're gonna burst.
I'm going to shit my pants. I'm so excited.
Dude, that's gonna be great.
I don't know if you know my gimmick or not, Bear, but I hold the world record for going the most consecutive days wearing a wrestling shirt. We're on day 872. So every single day I do a video and I upload it to a drive. So I have metadata proof that I worn it on that date, right? But because I do these videos, I do them with every wrestler I can. I've done them with Paul Walter Hauser and with Danhausen. So for the first time ever, 2 people I've done a video with are going to fight each other.
Nice.
Who do I root for? Danhausen. Fuck.
Oh, here's a little funny fact about Danhausen. He broke his leg here in Knoxville during a match, and he recorded himself at the ER. I was like, when I saw it, I'm like, wait a minute, I know that guy. I'm like, what the hell?
That ER.
I'm like, you sitting there with your leg broke and you're recording. What in the hell is wrong with you?
I think I remember the video you're talking about too. Yeah.
I probably, no joke, I own like 15 or 20 of his shirts. I met Eric at a Danhausen meet and greet.
That's how it all started, man.
Which is how this started. Danhausen is so like tight with me and my family and my friends. Like he wished my daughter a happy soccer game, and it blew her fucking mind. She was like, "How did Danhausen know I had a soccer game?" Like, it's just he's one of the absolute best. And I gotta say, Paul Walter Hauser was great to me as well. But I hope Danhausen kicks his ass.
He took his shirt off for you, buddy.
He did take his shirt off for me. I'm sorry, Paul.
He literally gave you the shirt off his own back.
I'm sorry, pal, but Danhausen's going to kick your ass, especially if Danhausen, if the rumors of Danhausen not being in AEW anymore are so indeed true, because then he has no filters, he can do what he wants, especially in Revolver. So I would love to see very evil Danhausen versus Paul Walter Hauser. Oh, wait a minute. Paul Walter, Danhausen, or how do we do this? How do they become a tag team? Paul Walterhausen.
Paul Walterhausen.
There you go.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna run in and attack both of them.
And then it's a tag match. That would
There
be
you
beautiful.
go.
Well, I think it was originally supposed to be a rematch with Paul Walter and Cardona, but Cardona tore his pec. So
yeah.
I say they both got beef with Cardona.
Yeah,
somehow
true, they do.
Because he was supposed to appear. I don't know if he's still going to appear.
Oh, so fucking he is. He's still going to appear.
He's actually supposed to be here in Knoxville June the 1st.
Okay.
He's still out there signing and selling merch.
I'm so fucking excited. They just announced that. That's so fucking cool.
Yeah, dude. I was looking at the card for Iowa, which obviously
insane.
we're gonna talk about it, but it's so good.
It's like indie wrestling mania right now at this point. We're going to get the SGC in the cage. We're going to get all this other shit combined.
Ringo Loco, Leo Rush, and Myron Reed in a triple threat for the remix title.
Oh,
are you
Shelly
kidding?
and Speedball.
Yeah, Shelly versus Speedball. Bear, if you're not watching on Fight TV, Revolver, that's something you got to tune in. It's like ECW in 1997 good. There's something about the stories that they're telling and the threads that go through these shows on top of fucking neck-breaking action. And it is, I know we're sponsors, so technically we're shills. But dude, even if I wasn't, I'd be telling people to watch this shit.
Yeah. That's why we are sponsors, though, because we believe in it that much. That we decided to want to throw our names in the hat on that. Yeah. Good Lord. I mean, Iowa always has these cards that are always like, Jesus, wish we could go to Iowa.
Well, man, Ready or Not was like the biggest crowd they'd ever had out there. I mean, I can't wait to see what it's like this time.
We're going to see it nice.
I mean, Dayton you can only fit so many people in there, and it's packed to the gills every time we're there.
Yeah.
But Iowa's got a little more room, so you can get a little bit bigger crowd out there. So it'll be pretty interesting.
And Goose is going with us too. Oh man, it's gonna be fun. Man, if you're anywhere near Iowa, you should go. I don't know where you're at, but
he's further away than we are. He's in Tennessee.
Oh well, now there you
go. That'd be like a 15-hour drive for him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're only driving 9 hours, whatever.
Yeah.
Generally I would, but I
catch a flight.
I pulled a couple. I was trying to think of the guy who messed up his back. Trent Beretta type surgery coming up.
Really?
Yeah. Had my L4 and L5 messed up, and now I got 3 bulging discs.
Oh shit!
So, yeah,
it's fun getting old.
Yes, Lord, and that's why I have to chill on threatening people because right now they can't kick my ass.
whoa.
Or like I tell them, okay, you might kick my ass, but I guarantee you the first 2, you ain't gonna want to come back for a third.
Get.
I like to ask people often, do you think that you could take yourself at 18 in a fight? Definitely. Same. I know my 18-year-old me was insane. I would get my ass kicked in a heartbeat if
me fight me. I started putting stuff together. 18 me would dog the hell out of me.
Wait, you think you'd kick 18-year-old?
I got way more grit in my teeth than I did then.
Really?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, 18-year-old me would fuck me up, dude. He was wild.
Well, yeah, I got like 85 pounds on 18-year-old me. So,
and I guess too, I know the reason why 18-year-old me would beat the crap out of me because there was no such thing as cheating. I was the dirtiest fighter. Oh, since we're talking about this, side story. I was 11 years old, and my parents were into it a little bit. Now, at the time, I guess I thought they were dead serious, but it was one of the rare times they were joking with each other. I didn't know. So I said something to my dad, Dad, come on, stop. And my dad's like, boy, who you think you're talking to? And I'm like, I'm talking to you, Dad. No disrespect, but you ain't gonna do that to Mama. So he grabbed me and we started wrestling. Well, he's whooping me all over the place, just twisted everywhere I go. He twisted. Finally, I got tired. I grabbed him by his nuts and I squeezed the hell out of him. He let me go. I wouldn't let go. He kept talking crap. I squeezed harder. He told my mom, tell him this boy let me go. I'm gonna kill him. As soon as he said that, I squeezed harder. I swung around where I could get to my room, gave him one more good squeeze, ran in my room, slammed the door, pushed my dresser in front of the door, and grabbed my other dresser, pushed it in front of it. I didn't come out the rest of the night. My dad never, ever wanted to wrestle with me again. He later on he told me, he said, well, that damn boy, he'll take care of himself. So he get his ass kicked. It won't be for long.
Hey, I fight to win.
And anytime he had to talk to me about something serious, he set that gun right there so I could understand that he meant what he was saying.
Right here.
Oh, that's funny. That's might be one of the best father-son stories we've heard on this show. That's pretty good.
So hold on. Since you are a dad, we have to hit you with this question. We asked pretty much everybody. Mike, go on ahead.
Yeah. Hey, being dads, and we are very budget-minded people. That being said, we like to know what you keep your thermostat set to.
I keep my set on whatever makes me comfortable. So the reason I say that because it's all over the place. Like I told my son, my daughter, my ex-wife, and my current wife, there's not a lot I can control in life. I refuse to be in my home and not be comfortable. If it's hot outside, I want it cold. That's what it's going to be. I don't give a damn about how much it costs. I got to be that. I can give up everything else, but the air and the heat got to be set right.
I think you just unlocked a fourth answer.
Yeah, right. Whatever the hell I want.
Originally, the three acceptable answers for us are 68, 69, and 70. But whatever the hell makes me comfortable seems like that needs to be an honorary fourth acceptable answer.
Basically, nobody else is touching it but me. You hear?
Now, of course, I say that and that never goes my way, but I made
yeah. Well, our other acceptable answer is whatever the hell she tells me to set it at.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all did hear ex-wife and new wife, right?
Oh yeah.
Just wanted to make sure.
What happened? She touched the thermostat.
Oh man, that's
reconcilable differences.
That's a that's a whole nother fucking story there. Oh man, I lost.
It's been a blast having you on here, man.
Yeah. Fucking laughing the whole time.
Yeah, we really enjoyed it. Glad you reached out to us and about coming on here and being on WSN. We're happy to be a part of it.
Well, I guess we could talk about that when we get off. More logistic shit, but remind me to ask you that when we get done with the interview.
All right.
Hang out for a minute, if you don't mind.
No.
You will.
If you will.
But yeah, man, it's cool when you find people like yourself. Like we started this podcast, and it's just kind of snowballed for us. And when you find like-minded people, it really makes it that much more fun. Because trust me, I've met a lot of people that I'm like, I don't want to be associated with you at all. So when you find somebody that you do want to be associated with, it really makes all the difference.
That's what's neat, man. We're instant friends now. Whether we see you as a trio or we seen you individually, we're Bear, what up, dude? You know what I mean? And that's instantly because of wrestling. You know what I mean? That's the power of wrestling.
Exactly. And it's funny because um, Clayton, he met another podcaster. I can't remember where he said he met him, but he knew him from the podcast and he knew Clayton from our podcast. And it was just so nice to like, man, we can finally meet in person and talk. And like you said, like-minded people just having fun. And as I tell people, man, I never thought that I could be in the wrestling business doing what I'm doing, getting to meet people, getting to do different things, and man, I'm just enjoying it. It's a dream come true.
Yeah.
We could all
But
say the
wrestling
same
is
thing.
great.
Absolutely.
It's been really cool for us lately, for sure.
Yeah. But again, we thank you for your time here tonight. We thank you for, for tuning into us, previous to this. It's always, kind of surreal to me when I hear people say they watch our show and like our show because, that's just kind of a fringe benefit of this, to us. It's kind of just hanging out with our buddies and talking about wrestling. Everything else is just extra goodness. So, thank you for that. And thank you for, taking the time to put together something like the Wrestling Society Network, because, you said it is a free app. So that means you guys aren't getting anything for that, that you're just doing it for the love of wrestling and for others to enjoy it as well. So again, thank you.
No, thank y'all. Like I said, from the first time Clayton put me on to y'all, I've just loved the concept. And you can see the genuine friendship and the enjoyment y'all get for talking to different wrestlers, promoters, whatever. And man, I get things are serious in life, but y'all are an escape that is just so great.
Yes.
Sir, you could not have given us a better compliment
Yes,
than that
absolutely.
right there.
Well, actually, I could have told you I gave you some free WrestleMania tickets, but
Hey,
you know,
you can keep thanking us.
Yeah, you don't have to stop. But no, because that's what wrestling was for me, and still is, a lot of the time is I would, I worked night shift for a really long time, and there were nights where I was just like struggling at work and watching a wrestling podcast or something, entertaining like that. That was my escape. And to be able to give that to other people, no matter if it's one person or 1,000 people, I love that we can do that.
Every time somebody tells me out in public, like, "Oh, I seen your show," I'm like, "No, you didn't. Shut up. Stop it."
that will be the surreal moment for me because I hadn't had that yet, where people like, "You're Professor Burr," so I can do like Abdullah Butcher did my sister. She saw him at a grocery store, and she's like, "You're Abdullah Butcher." He's like, "No, I'm not." She's like, "You got a shirt on say the Butcher." He's like, "No, I don't." He kept doing that to her. He's like, "Okay, yeah."
I don't know.
Motherfucker, look at your forehead. I know it's you.
I count 37 scars right there.
That's what I'm waiting on. And plus, I have my oldest brother. Me and him look like twins, so I'm gonna definitely get somebody like, "No, you're talking about my brother."
That's not
I hate wrestling. Only reason I'm wearing this shirt because my brother.
I stole it from my brother. I didn't like him either.
Need to get me a WSN shirt so I can wear that on the world record.
Man, we'll talk about that because we're just starting. I'm starting to press up shirts. God knows I know how hard it is to do different things. I'm like, oh yeah, I can press shirts, no problem. Oh, I just knocked out 20 of them. And I'm like, oh my God, what did I get myself into?
Yep. Farm that shit out.
Yep. We do it.
We got a good merch guy.
Yes, sir. Shout out, Andy. Oh, gosh, I can't stop yawning. Well, boys, you guys got anything else before we wrap this here show up?
I'm good, man.
Professor Burr, you want to tell everybody where they can find you, where to check out Wrestling Society Network and all that great stuff.
Yes, sir. Check us out on Facebook. That's where we have a page. We currently just hit 2,300 members. So thank you for that. We need more. If you're a promoter, wrestler, referee, whatever you do in the business, come to our site, promote yourself. We love you to give your promotions. We want people to know who you are. When we say society, we truly mean it. We want all wrestling fans. So that's where, and we're on X, and I can't think of the other because that's not my department. But I will say thank you for the support that y'all given us. And like I always say when I finish my video, without you, it would not be any of us. So thank you.
Thank you, buddy. Well,
hell yeah. Boys, that was another great episode. I'll tell
yes,
you what.
sir.
Easy.
We're so good at this. And you know what? Our guests make it easy to be good at it. That's the best part. You know what I mean? So as always, we've been the DWO Podcast. I'm Big Rig Eric Maffey. He is Mr. Magnificent Mike Martin. He is the wrestling t-shirt guy Cephas, and he is WSN's Professor Bear. As always, you can check us out on all the socials at DW_podcast, Facebook at the DWO Podcast, TikTok at DWO_pod. Get that dad merch at Pro Wrestling Tees and T Public, or you can message us directly and we'll ship it to you. We got all kinds of good stuff. Look at that. Mr. Magnificent's wearing our hat right now. It's a dope hat. I love it. So yeah, make sure y'all tune in on Thursday for another Revolver Rewind with the homie Tusslemania. Cannot wait for that. It's going to be awesome. Professor Bear, thank you again so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. And until next time, Top Dads out.